Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. General Hospital spoilers confirm Jocelyn Jacks, Eden McCoy, killed Cyrus Renault, Jeff Kober, this week, and that will forever change her life. Not only does taking a life mean her last shred of innocence is gone, but there's the fallout to deal with, including possible consequences. Jack Brennan's involved soon on GH, because Joss called him right after she confirmed Cyrus was really dead. She checked his pulse to confirm after kicking away the axe he had. Because he came at her with a weapon, Joss should see it as self-defense. But because she went numb when Cyrus confronted her and she shot him, Joss panics. That's why she called Jack Brennan, Chris McKenna, instead of 911. That decision changes her life forever and her character's fate on General Hospital. Most GH fans wanted an end to Cyrus' reign of terror. And it finally happened. With just a few days left in February sweeps, General Hospital took out the digitalist killer with a bang. And depending on how this plays out, Jocelyn Jacks will not be a suspect in his death. Most people expected it to be Jason Morgan who killed Cyrus. More than anything, he wanted justice for Sam McCall's Kelly Monaco slaying. But Joss's heartbreak over losing Dex Heller, even Hofer, has her acting out without thought for consequences. On the recent ABC soap episode, Joss got confirmation that her suspicions were correct. She found Cyrus' collection of hospital ID bands. It turns out, he took trophies like most serial killers do. Cyrus justified his many killings as a divine mission. He told Elizabeth Weber, Rebecca Herbst, he released people from pain like God wanted. But when it came to Sam Dex and his attempt to kill Liz, it was purely punishment for them getting in his way. Once Joss saw the hospital ID bands and got confirmation, she had no choice. With Jocelyn deciding to call WSB Chief Jack instead of Anna Devane, Finola Hughes, and the PCPD, things moved swiftly. Jack showed up, saw Cyrus' corpse, and gave Joss a couple of choices. So he said they can call the police or take care of it themselves. As the head of a spy organization, Jack probably has people that can make the body disappear. And they can clean up the crime scene. But whatever they decide, they better move fast. Jordan Ashford will find that cabin soon because of her files on Cyrus. And General Hospital spoilers point to the PCP descending there soon. Anna, Jordan, and even Dan Falconeri, Dominic Zamprogna, are in on the search for Sam and Dex's killer. Plus, with Lucky Spencer, Jonathan Jackson, fighting for his life, more people are on board. But Cyrus is already dead. Joss and Jack may not have time to move the body, but they can erase evidence of her being in the cabin. I'm sure Jack can wipe away the prints and destroy evidence. They could even burn down the cabin to destroy traces of Joss being there. But with Cyrus dead on GH, and it clearly being foul play, Jason's the top suspect. Anna and Alexis Davis, Nancy Lee Gran, begged him not to kill Cyrus, and Stone Cold confessed to Sam's grave that he wanted to kill the guy. But he was nowhere near that cabin. Who'll believe him? In a recent interview, General Hospital writers said Jack's feeling for Carly Spencer, Laura Wright, were unplanned. Instead, it was her daughter Joss who was a big part of why Brennan came to Port Charles. It could be the WSB is trying to recruit her. It could be about Joss' uncle who cares about her dearly, Jerry Jacks, Sebastian Rock. He went out of his way to vaccinate Joss against a pathogen he put in the water supply. And Jerry, who's nothing short of a true terrorist, escaped from Steinmauer prison. That's where the WSB and other organizations send the worst international criminals. Remember, Jack Brennan told his sidekick Colette he wanted to see how clever Joss is. And he wants to see what she'd do when she got the info to find Cyrus. So, he's testing her to see if she could handle the pressure of being a WSB recruit. And if he can talk her into being a WSB agent, Jack may assign her to bring in her uncle. Either way, Joss faces a big choice soon now that she took a life. This week, we'll see Jack's big plan to save Joss. He can't have her arrested by the PCPD for killing Cyrus. That would mean all Brennan's plotting to test her was for nothing. So yes, he'll clean up the mess she made shooting Cyrus, and then Joss will be indebted to him. and Jack can finally unveil what he wants: for her to join the WSB. He already swore her to secrecy to keep this from Carly, and with the murder weapon locked in his safe with her prints on it, Jack can get what he wants. But he'll have to hope Joss keeps their deal quiet. Jack can't have Joss telling Carly what she did and that her boyfriend saved her, because Carly wouldn't let Brennan get away with using Joss for whatever he's got in mind. I suspect General Hospital spoilers will unveil his plans soon. He's using Jocelyn Jacks with the excuse of it being for a higher purpose, and recruiting the next generation of WSB agents is exciting. Wonder if he'll go for Emma Scorpio next. The air in Port Charles was thick with tension. Jocelyn Jacks had always been fiery, determined, and fiercely protective of the people she loved. But now, she found herself in a situation she never imagined, one that could destroy her future. A night that changed everything. It all happened so fast. One moment, Joss was standing in the back alley behind Kelly's, gripping her phone, breathing heavily. The next, Cyrus Renault was lying at her feet, a bullet lodged in his chest. Blood seeped into the pavement, the sound of his last, gurgling breath fading into the night. She hadn't planned this. She wasn't even supposed to be there. But after months of terror, months of watching Cyrus manipulate, threaten, and destroy lives, she'd had enough. He had gone too far this time, targeting Trina and Spencer. Trying to sink his claws into Dex. Joss hadn't come with a weapon. But the gun, Cyrus's gun, had been there, knocked from his grasp in the scuffle. She picked it up, intending only to defend herself. But when Cyrus lunged at her, his eyes dark with menace, her instincts took over. She fired. And now he was dead. A web of consequences. Joss stood frozen, her breath ragged. She could hear her own pulse pounding in her ears. For a split second, she thought about calling the police. After all, it was self-defense. But deep down, she knew how this worked. Cyrus had powerful connections, even in death. His associates would twist the truth, make her out to be the aggressor. Panic surged through her. She thought of her mother, Carly. She thought of Sonny, of Michael, of Dex. What would happen to them if she went down for this? And then she heard footsteps. Joss. The voice was low, urgent. She turned sharply to see Dex Heller, his expression morphing from confusion to horror as he took in the scene. Oh my God! He moved toward her, his hands hovering over hers, which still gripped the gun. Tell me what happened. Joss's voice trembled. He was going to kill me. I didn't mean to. Dex didn't let her finish. He acted on instinct, just as she had. He took the gun from her hands, wiped it down, and tossed it into a dumpster. Then he grabbed her by the arm. We have to go. Now. The cover-up begins. Dex took Joss back to his apartment, where he paced the floor, running a hand through his hair. Cyrus has people everywhere, he muttered. If they find out you did this, they'll come for you. We need to make sure no one ties you to it. Joss sat on the edge of the couch, her arms wrapped around herself. Dex, I can't lie about this. If the cops come, he knelt in front of her, his eyes filled with desperation. You think they'll believe you? Your Sonny's stepdaughter, Joss. And me? I used to work for him. This will never be as simple as the truth. She hated it, but she knew he was right. The fallout. By morning, the news broke. Cyrus Renault was dead. The official word was that it was a gang-related hit, likely retaliation for his latest power moves. Jordan Ashford and Dante Falconeri led the investigation, and while they weren't ruling anything out, they had no leads. But Joss couldn't escape the guilt. She tried to act normal, but every time she walked through town, she felt eyes on her. She kept expecting someone to figure it out. It didn't help that Dex was on edge too. He was constantly checking his phone, watching every shadow. Everything's fine, he kept telling her. We covered our tracks. But they hadn't counted on one thing: Spencer Cassadine. Spencer knows the truth. Spencer had been keeping an eye on Cyrus for weeks, convinced the man was plotting something against him and Trina. The night of the shooting, he had been following one of Cyrus's associates near Kelly's. He hadn't seen the actual shooting, but he had arrived just in time to see Joss and Dex fleeing the scene. At first, he didn't know what to do with the information. Joss was Trina's best friend, and Dex had helped them before. But this was huge. A week later, Spencer confronted Joss at the pier. "I know what you did," he said, voice low but firm. Joss's stomach dropped. "I don't know what you're talking about," Spencer scoffed. "Come on, Joss, I saw you. I saw Dex. You were running from the scene. And now Cyrus is dead." Her hands trembled. "You can't say anything." Spencer studied her. "Did you mean to kill him, Mo?" she whispered. "It was self-defense. He was going to kill me." Spencer hesitated. Joss had never looked so vulnerable. He knew what Cyrus was capable of. Maybe this was justified. But still, if the cops dig too deep, if someone else saw something, they'll come for you, he warned. Joss swallowed hard. "Then help me. Please." A new battle begins. Spencer wasn't sure what to do. He wanted justice, but justice in Port Charles was never simple. And now, Joss was caught in a web that could destroy her. Meanwhile, the investigation took an unexpected turn when Jordan and Dante found new evidence. A security camera near the alley had captured part of the confrontation. The footage didn't clearly show Joss, but it was enough to make the cops suspicious. As the walls closed in, Joss had to decide. Should she turn herself in and risk everything? Or should she trust Dex, Spencer, and the people who loved her to protect her? One thing was certain. Killing Cyrus Renault had changed everything. And now, Joss would have to fight for her future like never before. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our GH News 24 YouTube channel for more update news.